I'm old. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Real Talk. I'm your host, Andrew Vick, your properly cleansed Post Malone. I am so ready for another episode of Real Talk tonight. It feels like it's been 2 weeks, even though we've sort of delayed the episode by like a day, but you know what? It's fine. I've aged too much. Actually, I will be aging pretty soon, but we'll get into that later. Starting off, I'd like to thank everyone who tuned into the TV10 All-Nighter last weekend. We had 40 people call. That was a lot more callers than last semester, and that's a good number. I like 40. Make it higher next semester, and come in the middle of the night and help me build a pillow fort. And so, with that, we're going to go right into the news. There is quite a bit of news, actually, but starting off, as always, with the domestic box office. At number one, it's $17.8 million. We've got Midway. This is, I think it's the remake of the Michael Bay Pearl Harbor movie. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't watch movies anymore. What am I doing? At number two, at $14.1 million, we got Dr. Sleep, the official sequel to The Shining movie, and yet also The Shining book at the exact same time. I don't know how that works, but I should probably see that at some point, but maybe also not. And at number three, we've got Playing with Fire at $12.7 million. I have no idea what that is. And at number four, we've got $11.4 million, Last Christmas. I also don't know what that movie is. I really should do a better job. And at number five, unfortunately, at $8.8 million, Terminator Dark Fate has lost millions upon millions of dollars for being, I mean, you heard about Terminator losing every dollar, right? It's sad, yet also hilarious at the exact same time. And starting off with our big piece of news today, more Batman news, because if I don't talk about Batman on my show, I'm going to get shut down. So recently, there have been reports that Colin Farrell and Andy Serkis are in talks to join the film that will be coming in 2021, I want to say. They are reportedly being cast for the roles of Oswald Cobblepot, also known as the Penguin, and Alfred Pennyworth, respectively. The Penguin was, of course, played by Danny DeVito in Batman Returns in 90, 91. I can't remember which year Batman Returns came out. And Alfred Pennyworth is, of course, Bruce Wayne's loyal butler. And Andy Serkis playing Alfred, okay. He was pretty... Andy Serkis is a whack actor. Schmeagol, King Kong, and Caesar from Planet of the Apes. The guy from Black Panther, he had the robot arm. He likes being really crazy, so I don't know how that kind of Alfred will work, but you know, I'm pretty excited to see that anyway. And next up on our next piece of news, no awards for Cats. Cats is not getting any awards. I shouldn't say that too soon, but reportedly, Cat may list a lot of potential awards for the Academy Awards coming up next year in February, because so far it's missed a ton of deadlines for other different awards and guilds. For example, they've missed the Golden Globe deadline, National Board of Review, New York Film Critics Circle, Los Angeles Film Critics Association, and the Screen Actors Guild Awards. They have missed the deadlines to submit that film for all of those, and I mean, that's ugly. It's just ugly. I can't wait to see it in December, but by God, no wonder it's not getting released earlier, because I'd have that in my mind even more. So, sucks for you, Cat. Sucks for you. And on to our last big piece of news. Disney Plus was released yesterday. Wow, this is pretty big. This is, of course, the big streaming service that Disney has putting out there with all of their classic films and a handful of popcorn-sized content. There's actually not too much original content. I'll just put it out there. I shilled out. I have a Disney Plus subscription. I'm sorry, but Mandalorian's pretty cool. They've got one episode, and it's pretty darn good. Probably the best Star Wars stuff in a few years. But hopefully I'll never have to talk about Star Wars anytime soon ever again. But Disney Plus was kind of a success, actually. 10 million subscribers on day one. That is a number. That's a large, large number. We don't have that many subscribers, but that's besides the point. Also, another interesting thing to point out with Disney Plus, it put little like disclaimers before a few different movies. For example, like Dumbo, that has like very, very dated racial themes. Here's actually the quote that they put at the end of that film's description. This program is presented as originally created. It may contain outdated cultural depictions. I mean, good on Disney for just sort of slapping it on there. It's not like the Warner Bros. Cartoons that were like really outdated and they put like a whole block of text just saying like, hey, this is wrong and we don't agree with this, but the artist made this and artistic integrity and stuff. So, good on you, Disney. You did something. You did something. And let's move on to the batch of trailers we got to talk about this week. Quite a bit of animation, actually. Animation's got a bunch of big old trailers this week. What do we got first? This one I'm pretty excited about. Scoob! Talking about Scoob. Scoob. I said Scoob 3 times in a row. I need to slap myself. Thank you. Scoob is the animation remake of Scooby-Doo, obviously, and it looks kind of charming. I mean, the animation looks pretty darn good for Scooby-Doo that usually has the budget of a nickel and a sandwich, but it looks pretty darn good presentation-wise. I'm not entirely sure on the voice cast, though. Like, Scooby-Doo sounds pretty all right, but Shaggy and Fred and a few of the other ones, they don't really match well, but I feel as we get more trailers and eventually when we see the movie, I'll get used to it and just accept it. Hopefully it's the quality of like On Zombie Island in terms of Scooby-Doo movies, but that's something to look forward to. Next up in animation trailers, we got the trailer for Soul. Finally, some good-looking Pixar movies. Soul is this upcoming Pixar movie. I don't really know what it's about because the first trailer for any Pixar movie never tells you anything. Because when it comes to animation trailers in Disney, usually the first trailer is always the worst one. But it looks really good. Like, the quality in animation in this one is so high tier. Like, Pixar is like resetting the standard again. They haven't really been holding up that bar too high recently with some of their sequels, but it's good that they're finally going back into original movies again, and hopefully the other one that's coming out next year is fine at the very least. But looking forward to Soul. Looking very much forward to Soul. And lastly on our list of trailers, this one is a long time coming. The Hedgehog. If you recall last semester when we did the crossover episode with Home Screen, I covered that trailer a little bit and talked about how horrified I was at the design of Sonic. It was beady little eyes, those human-like teeth, the hands, the limbs. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. And Paramount actually kind of listened, and they just said, okay, we're going to delay the movie, and we're going to redesign him a little bit. And that's actually rather nice. I don't think many studios have actually ever done that before, so it's nice that they've kind of done that for this movie. That's obviously going to suck because it's a animation / live action movie involving Sonic the Hedgehog, because of course it is. But that definitely looks like Sonic. I think I mentioned last episode that there was a cardboard cutout that leaked, and it matches pretty well. Like, this is indeed Sonic. I can accept that. Like, he looks adorable. Like, if this trailer came out with, like, the exact same Sonic design as the last time, like, I'm pretty sure it would not have worked at all. Honestly, it'd be even more laughable. But this Sonic looks cute. We'll take him. It's not like the traditional, like, cartoony Sonic design, but, you know, we'll take it. I mean, heck, it's not the old one. Ah! Why the eyes? Why those beady little eyes? Get it off. Get it off. Get it off. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, that's coming out on Valentine's Day, and you know what? I think it'll be all right. And Jim Carrey, he's doing his usual stick, but you know what? Good on Sonic for getting a facelift. And you know what? That's gonna actually do it for our news today. But don't go away. We're actually going to be showing all of those trailers I've just laid out for you, and please enjoy.
We promise to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, your sweet tooth. So visit our refreshment center now. Let's go!
Oh, it's about to start. You ready?
Ready.
Popcorn?
Butter.
Nachos?
Cheese.
Root beer with red licorice straw?
Right here. Maybe it's time we made our new movie.
Good idea, Scoob. But first we need a trailer. Oh, can you do the trailer guy voice?
Well, let me give it a shot. In a world destroyed by evil, discover the epic origin story of the greatest team of heroes in the history of mystery. Not bad.
Nailed it!
Oh.
Hey!
Oh.
This mangy stray's coming with me.
He's not a stray.
Okay, then. What's his name?
His name's Scooby.
Middle name?
Doobie?
Last name?
Do.
You said that we would always be. Without you, I feel lost at sea.
I love it.
Through the darkness,
I'll never take it off.
like the wind, we'd be riding free.
Aw.
Maybe don't do that again.
I'm Fred. This is Velma.
Hi.
And that's Daphne.
Hey, I'm Shaggy, and this is Scooby-Doo.
Nice to meet you.
Trick or treat.
Whoa. Shaggy and Scooby were taken?
Do you realize where we are?
No?
Look around, man. The clean, modern aesthetic, the cool blue color palette. We're in
IKEA.
the Falcon Fury. Did you say IKEA?
Nope. I said Falcon Fury, just like you.
Maybe this can lead us to Scooby and Shaggy. Trace amounts of mustache oil, 12-year-old scotch.
Ugh. Is the bad guy my dad?
What would you want to be known for on Earth? We only have a short time on this planet. You want to become the person that you were born to be? Don't waste your time on all the junk of life.
What am I doing?
Spend your precious hours doing what will bring out the real you. The brilliant, passionate you that's ready to contribute something meaningful into this world. I got the gig. I really need a haircut today, man. Can you fit me in? Whoa, sorry. What the? Hello? So what do you want to be remembered for?
Probably for doing this funny cowboy dance?
Great.
I'm Sonic, a little ball of super energy in an extremely handsome package. On my planet, people were always after my powers, so I came to yours. It gets a little lonely, but that's okay. I am living my best life on Earth. Ow! At the place Sonic! At the Pitcher's Mound, also Sonic! Ugh, I can't with that guy.
hiding out in my garage.
They're coming for me! If they steal my power, they could conquer the universe. You have to help me.
No, I don't. Please, it's life or death.
Good morning, my rural chum.
Mr. Dr. Robotnik. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to tell me where it is.
Wait! Don't hurt him! Road trip? Whoop, whoop.
This can't be happening to me.
Oh my God, stop the car right now!
What?
The world's largest rubber band ball? We gotta see it!
No, this is not some fun family road trip.
You're right. It was lame. Gift shop was cool, though.
Whatever this creature is, I'm going to uncover the source of its power.
Yeah, hey.
I just thought you might like a latte with steamed Austrian goat milk. Of course I want a latte.
I love the way you make them!
We gotta lay low.
Let me show you how it's done. So should we get out of here?
Yeah, time to go.
I always want to do this. Nailed it! Uh-oh. Let's go! Here comes the boom!
How are you not dead?
I have no idea!
Oh, give me a big fat break!
That was an illegal left, by the way.
Aw, this one is cute. Let's keep him. Oh, come on! You've got car insurance, right?
Why would you throw your life away for this silly little alien?
Good time.
He's my friend.
Let's go! This is my power. And I'm using it to protect my friends. Let's go! Let's go! So, you're supposed to be Tom's best friend that he won't shut up about. Well, I don't see the appeal. That is very gross. Let's go!
And now, on with the show.
And welcome back. I hope those trailers were worth some semblance of discussion. Now, it is time to dine, because you see, out here today, I have laid out this fine piece of cake. Because when it comes to the life of one man, one must always indulge in his deepest, darkest desires. So that means we're going to eat cake. Now, why would a man ever need to eat a piece of cake so poorly? Well, it's because it's my birthday pretty soon. Yeah, I age, unfortunately. Now, this Saturday, I'm going to be turning 21. Isn't that exciting? Probably going to be going home, see family, stay at home, do nothing irresponsible whatsoever. But this cake isn't just for myself. This cake is not just for me. This cake here, if I say this cake one more time, I'm going to beat myself up. This cake right here is also for someone who has been around for a lot longer than I have, but also needs a much bigger cake. I'm, of course, talking about this several meter tall lizard right here, Godzilla, so known as Godzilla here in the States. The king of the monsters has reigned for 65 continuous years, and while I've only been present for 21 of those, yes. Just pat his little head. His little head. This is nice. Let's keep going. Let's keep going with this bit. This is my job. This is my life. Anyway, as I was saying, while I've only been present for 21 of those years, it's pretty clear to see that this is no small feat. 65 years is a really, really long time. This makes Godzilla the longest-running film franchise of all time. Yeah, really. Godzilla has been around in the world of film longer than Star Wars, Star Trek, James Bond, and even post-serialized Batman. There's no stopping this kaiju from continuing to stomp to our theaters, and so, for his 65th anniversary, I thought it would be a fun experiment to rate every single one of his movies. Now, for some quick clarification, for starters, These will be ranked on a score out of 10, 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest, of course. Easy enough. I suppose it's important to keep in mind that there are going to be 36 of these movies, including the American remakes. So, to keep things orderly here, we're going to be shotgunning this. How so? Each film only gets 10 words or less. Classic 50s horror, almost impossible to top. Then came the blueprint for the rest of the franchise. Kong was supposed to be Frankenstein's monster. Makes more sense. Evil businessman? What is this, 90s Disney?
Oh, Godzilla, what terrible language!
Won't be the last time we have alien antagonists. Godzilla was supposed to be Kong. Makes even less sense. Noah is a good reason for abstinence. The most unrealistic thing here is world peace in 1999. No monsters attack. In fact, this movie isn't real. Oh yeah, this one was definitely made for hippies. My ears still bleed from the kaiju dialogue. Jet Jaga, Jet Jaga, Yatta Jaga. This era's weirdness works well for this one. I want to strangle Titanosaurus. Tries to recap the original's tone, doesn't work so well. I see the Japanese finally heard about H.P. Lovecraft. 5 words. Time travel, Mecha King Ghidorah. A backdoor prequel to the Mothra spin-offs. Mecha Godzilla looks dumb. I love him. Alright, now you're just being lazy. The good version of the death of Superman. Actual garbage. Straight up disrespectful. Thanks, Sony. They rushed out the reboot because of you. Interdimensional grasshopper antagonist wouldn't have been my first pick. Actually rather short for that obscene title length. Is Mechagodzilla an anti-hero or anti-villain here? Cool either way. Somehow just as cool as its predecessor. Matrix, Star Wars, and X-Men all at once. Very cluttered. An honorable remake that does justice to the original. Hopefully the sequels are better. Literally just Matrix Reloaded. Spaghetti Ghidorah is the least of this film's problems. Yeah, the script is dumb, but I love it! Alright, with that out of the way, let's go through, in my opinion, the top 4 best and the top 4 worst, in a slightly longer manner. 4th worst, Godzilla, the Planet Eater. Coasting off the second film in the anime trilogy, this movie is a blunder of a mess. All of these movies are essentially the same, with only 1 or 2 things occurring before the climax and then the movie ends. It's the increase in the Matrix sequel level dialogue that just tips it right into the worst category. 4th best, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Out of any of the Versus movies, this one tops most of them just for being so gosh darn bonkers. Evil time travelers, lost dinosaurs, robot dragons, this one has it all. 3rd worst, Godzilla vs. Gigan. Space cockroaches build a kaiju-themed park to conquer the Earth. To start off with, Gigan is a terribly designed character. I mean, just look at him! What makes this hurt the most is that Gigan can look cool. If you look at his design in Godzilla Final Wars, he looks incredible. I love it. Also, Godzilla and Anguirus talk in English in this one. And
Why you want?
Something funny going on. You better check.
turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off! 3rd best, Godzilla vs. Destroyer! Nothing like sending your most iconic character out than having him potentially melt the entire planet. Godzilla vs. Destroyer perfectly ties back into the original 50s classic with one of his greatest foes, Destroyer, as well as being topped with an incredible score that actually makes you feel pretty sad when he finally bites the dust. 2nd worst, All Monsters Attack! You might have thought what I had said earlier was a joke, but no, seriously, this movie is not real. Nothing in this movie is actually happening. It's all just inside the mind of some random kid thinking about stock footage from previous movies. 2nd best, Gojira, the original. No one can deny the impact that was felt around the world with the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, especially not the Japanese. They took their fear and conveyed it through a haunting film based upon the weapons of man, their destructive power, and whether or not we're ready to be responsible for the death those weapons cause. No kidding, the original was very, very dark and serious compared to other monster movies of the genre, and we should be thankful for that. And the worst out of the entire series, Godzilla 1998. Roland Emmerich openly saying how much he did not care about the source material is just the tip of the iceberg on this one. With undeniably the worst design of the Big G, it's horribly acted, horribly written, and it's just downright despicable how much no one involved cared about what they were doing. Also, it had this line.
In what city officials are describing as the worst act of destruction since the World Trade Center bombing.
That one didn't age quite so well.
And finally, in my opinion, the best, Shin Godzilla, also known as Godzilla Resurgence. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, why on earth would I put this over the original classic? In my opinion, the best way to remake an old property is to take it in a new direction and try to say something new with it. That is precisely what they do with this one, basing it upon the Fukushima nuclear disaster and turning Godzilla into an unstoppable evolutionary disaster, gaining multiple forms and abilities to almost the point of being overpowered. Shin Godzilla takes the political themes of the original and amps them up to 11. Long live the king.